Alright guys, Fuller coming to you with another video. Shout outs to the whole LDBC. If you like this video, please feel free to like the video, and if you would like to, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. It's always by choice, never by force. So I want to talk a little boxing today about the heavyweight division. Just give my take on the heavyweight division as of right now. We all know that Tyson Fury was victorious against Deontay Wilder in dramatic fashion with the stoppage, right? But now accusations are coming out about the way in which he won. Now people are coming out and saying that he found a loophole with his gloves that enabled him to generate a little bit more power, or I should say do a little bit more damage than usual. And some people have came out and released videos on this showing a motion by motion breakdown of what occurred. As far as I'm concerned, I haven't really checked the videos that much. I haven't really gotten into detail about it. There was also another video that surfaced that showed that even in sparring, Tyson Fury was known to tamper with gloves. So maybe perhaps this needs to be investigated. I'm not going to accuse him of cheating. I'm not going to say that he didn't cheat though, but I'm not going to say that he did cheat. My thing is that it needs to be investigated, and maybe things will come out at the later time than we know of right now. But as far as I'm concerned, it needs to be looked at closer before I say, okay, he was cheating outright. So it's up in the air. We just got to see what happens. And we got to see if the commissions are going to look into it or not, which I kind of doubt they will. Now, Deontay Wilder has came out and said that, or Team Wilder, I can't say that Deontay Wilder said this, but Team Wilder has came out and said that one of the things that was a limitation to Deontay Wilder was his ring entrance. They said that the ring entrance suit was too heavy. They said because of that, he couldn't get his legs under him to do what he usually does. Okay. Even if that's the case, right? You still got to have a game plan. Even with that being the case, you got to be able to finesse your disadvantage. If you knew you can't get your legs up under you, then you got to offset what's coming towards you and just box. You have to just box. I mean, if you couldn't get any power shots off, you got to box then. And those accumulation of punches will eventually break down your guy and give you the opening you need to do what you usually do. But I mean, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I'm Team Wilder all day, but again, you gotta have more than one tool in your shed. You can't just have one tool. You gotta have many tools. And when one tool isn't working, you got to be able to go to the other tool. And I'm afraid that Deontay Wilder did not have any more tools in the shed. If he knew that he couldn't get his legs up under him, you got to be able to do something else then. I mean, there was one fight with Floyd Mayweather, I remember. I can't compare Deontay Wilder to Floyd Mayweather because it's a heavyweight division. you know. But there was one fight with Floyd Mayweather in which I think he broke his hand. His hand was broken. I think it was versus Carlos Hernandez. And what happened was his hand was broken. So Floyd, what he had to do, I mean, you can't stop in the middle of a fight. There's no way you can stop. He had to go to southpaw. And in doing that, he put the broken hand behind him and was able to kind of make an adjustment. It wasn't a pretty adjustment, but it did the trick, you know? So you have to be able to do things like that in fights, because boxing is as hard enough as it is. So you got to have all kinds of tools for it, you know? And I'm afraid to say that Deontay Wilder didn't have them. So now we fast forward, and Deontay Wilder has decided to part ways with trainers due to the simple fact of the loss that he took. And he wants to exercise the immediate rematch. That's what he wants to do. But the powers that be, meaning Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum, they want to go ahead and have a Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua mega fight. And when you think about it, it's easier to have that fight to make that fight, because ESPN and DAZN have worked together for a minute. You know, they've done business with each other. And I guess they figured that that's the best bet to do. So what I'm hearing is they're trying to pay Deontay Wilder step-aside money so he can, you know, so they can do that fight. Now, if I was Deontay Wilder, I'm thinking that taking some step-aside money to even further sharpen your game is a good idea. And also, it can kind of give you a time to reset, because I mean, Deontay Wilder was trying to stay as active as possible, you know, and that's just the thing, you know. He had to stay. I think it's good for him to take a break, you know what I mean? But I mean, if he insists on wanting to fight the immediate rematch, then I mean, there's nothing you can tell him otherwise. He's going to want to fight again, you know? So, with that being said, I guess we just have to wait and see what happens, you know? And, I mean, if I were him, I would just take some time off, but we don't know. We don't know what he's thinking. So this goes on to Anthony Joshua. Now, I was seeing a report. I don't know how true this report is, but I did see something about him sealing a Kubrat Pulev fight, because I think he's the mandatory in one of those rankings for one of those alphabet soup belts. He's the mandatory, so what they're doing is, I think they're setting up that fight to happen, you know? And I mean, considering that the Andrew Ruiz fight, a third one, is not going to happen, I think they're wanting to play it safe. I mean, I don't think that Anthony Joshua is going to have any problems with Kubrat Pulev. He may give him a couple of fits here and there, but I really don't think he poses that much of a threat to Anthony Joshua. So I think that's why they're doing this fight. And believe it or not, AJ still has a big fan base. And usually when you fight AJ, you're fighting on his terms, meaning you're fighting at his location or in his venue that he wants to fight in. You really don't have any control over that. I mean, for the most part, many people, when they fight AJ, they're looking for the bag. and you know, all the things that they may want goes out the window. You feel me? So I think that's what's going to happen. I believe that's going to be the case with this fight. So fast forward, and we go to Andrew Ruiz, and what they're saying is Andrew Ruiz is looking to seal the fight with Luis King Kong Ortiz, which I think will be a good fight, because now when we look at it, the division is kind of shooken up now, because there wasn't no way Luis Ortiz was going to win a third fight with Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? There was just no way. But now Andrew Ruiz Luis Ortiz fight maybe opens up one of them getting a fight with Tyson Fury or getting a fight with Anthony Joshua, due to the simple fact that, you know, they never fought him. And another thing that I want to say about that is that, you know, styles make fights, man. And, you know, say if Luis Ortiz gets in there with Tyson Fury, say if Luis Ortiz gets in there with Anthony Joshua, we don't know the outcome of that fight, because of the simple fact, you know, Luis Ortiz is a different style from those fights that they have had. You know, who's to say that Luis Ortiz will go down fighting Tyson Fury? Because we know that when people get aggressive with Luis Ortiz, he gets aggressive. So you never know, man. That's a fight that I kind of would fancy seeing, but it's just a matter of we don't know where he is mentally after getting knocked out, you know, from Deontay Wilder, because, you know, those knockouts, man, they change you, man. They definitely change you. So it just depends on where he's at with that. And then the final guy I want to talk about, I don't want to give him a lot of attention, but I do want to talk about Dillian Whyte. Man, at this point, he's not even the odd guy looking in, man. He's just one of those guys with the puppy dog eyes that basically he's like it's like a little puppy dog that is looking for attention and looking for, you know, validation and what have you, and he simply can't get it from just barking. So, you know, he's just doing all kinds of other things that would give him these attentions, but it really isn't working. You know what I mean? Most, if not all, the elite heavyweights don't even look at him as a threat. Most of them look at him as just like some, sorry to say it, they just look at him as a lower tier competition guy. You know what I mean? That's how they look at him. And again, you got to be careful when you fight him anyway. I mean, he's known for that glove shit too, you know, and plus the PED thing too. You know, the only people who support Dillian Whyte at this point are people from his hometown in UK. That's it. Other than that, no American I know supports Dillian Whyte. I mean, there's nothing really to support. You know what I mean? So I don't know who he's planning on fighting at the time, but I know he definitely ain't fighting no Wilder. He definitely ain't fighting no Ortiz. He definitely not fighting no Anthony Joshua again. And the person he probably will end up fighting, because he's looking for a comeback fight himself, is possibly Dominique Brazil. That's it. And that's the only fight that I can see him taking at this time. But other than that, man, we just got to wait and see what happens with these heavyweights, man. I think the division is shooken up. I think we have a lot to look forward to in this division if things play right. And yeah, man, that's all I got for now, man. Just leave your thoughts and leave your comments. Let me know what y'all think about it, about the division. You know what I mean? And let me know if you think that we're going to see a third Deontay Wilder-Tyson Fury fight. And let me know if you think we're going to see Andrew Luis Ortiz fight as well. But that's all I got for now, guys. Fool is signing out. Leave your thoughts and leave your comments.